Welcome to our lesson on Italian possessive adjectives and pronouns. If you have ever wanted to say words like my, your, his, or her in Italian, you are in the right place. We'll break down the rules in a simple, clear way, focusing on how Italian is different from English. First, let's talk about what possessive adjectives are. In English, they are words like my, your, his, her. They tell you who owns something, for example, in the phrase my car. Possessive pronouns, on the other hand, replace the noun entirely. For example, in the sentence, the car is mine. In Italian, the words for both possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns are the same, which makes things a bit easier. The key is learning how to use them correctly. Now, let's look at the forms of possessivi in Italiano. The most important rule to remember is that Italian possessive adjectives must agree in gender and number with the noun they are describing, not with the person who owns it. This is a major difference from English. For example, whether a man or a woman is speaking, the phrase my book is always il mio libro, because libro, the word for book, is a masculine noun. On the screen now, you can see a table with all the forms you will need to learn. Notice how most of them have 4 different endings. The exception is loro, which means their, and it never changes. For I, the forms are mio, mia, miei, mie. For you, informal, the forms are tuo, tua, tuoi, tue. For he or she, the forms are suo, sua, suoi, sue. For we have nostro, nostra, nostri, nostre. For you guys, you all, we use vostro, vostra, vostri, vostre. And for they, the form is always just loro. A quick note on the word suo. As you saw, suo and its other forms can mean either his or her. The context of the conversation will tell you which one it is. For example, il suo libro could mean his book or her book. You might also see suo with a capital S. This is the formal version of your, used when addressing someone with respect. As a beginner, you should focus on using the informal tuo. Next, we have the golden rule of Italian possessives. Always use the article. In Italian, possessive adjectives are almost always placed between a definite article, that is the word for the, like the dog, the cat, the glass, and the noun. The structure is definite article, then possessive adjective, then noun. Think of it like saying the my book instead of just my book. So the Italian correct structure would be the literal translation of the weird sentence, the my book. While it sounds strange in English, it's grammatically correct in Italian. For example, my book is il mio libro. We use il and mio because libro is masculine singular. Your house is la tua casa. We use la and tua because casa is feminine singular. Our friends is I nostri amici. We use I and nostri because amici is masculine plural. And his or her pens is le sue penne. We use le and sue because penne is feminine and plural. Now for the big exception to this rule. Singular family members. When you are talking about a single family member, you do not use the definite article. This applies to words like mother, father, brother, sister, son, daughter, uncle, and aunt. For example, to say my father, you would just say mio padre. It is incorrect to say il mio padre. Don't do that. Not il mio padre, just mio padre. Similarly, your sister is tua sorella, not la tua sorella. And our aunt is nostra zia, not la nostra zia. The rule is very strict for singular, unmodified family nouns. However, there are a few specific cases where the article comes back. Let's look at those exceptions to the exception. Boom! You must use the definite article with family members in these situations. First, when you are talking about plural family members, the rule only applies to singular relatives. If you're talking about more than one, the article is required. For example, my brothers is I miei fratelli. Second, when you're using the word loro for their, the possessive loro always requires the article, even for a single family member. For example, their father is il loro padre. Third, when you modify the family noun, if you add any descriptive word like an adjective or a suffix like ino for little, the article is required. For example, my older sister is la mia sorella maggiore. And fourth, with affectionate terms, words like mamma for mom and papa for dad, they usually take the article. For example, my mom is la mia mamma. Now, let's talk about possessive pronouns, the words for mine, yours, his, and hers. As I mentioned earlier, Italian uses the same words for this. The only difference is that they stand alone, replacing the noun. They are usually preceded by a definite article. For example, you can say, questo è il mio libro, which means this is my book. But if you want to say, this book is mine, you would say, questo libro è il mio. Here another example. Questa è la tua borsa means this is your bag. To say the bag is yours, you would say questa borsa è la tua. When a possessive pronoun comes after the verb essere, to be, the article is often dropped in conversational Italian. Both forms are correct. You can say questo caffè è mio or questo caffè è il mio. Both mean the coffee is mine. So let's quickly summarize the key rules. First, always match the possessive to the gender and the number of the noun it describes. Second, in most cases, use the definite article before the possessive. Third, skip the article for single, unmodified family members. And fourth, remember the exceptions. Bring the article back to plural family members when using loro with modified family nouns and with the affectionate terms like mamma. Now let's test your knowledge with a few practice exercises. I will read the sentence with a blank and you can try to fill it in. Number 1. My mother is Italian. How would you say that? Madre è italiana. 3, 2, 1. Mia madre è italiana. We don't use an article because madre, it's a singular family member. Number 2. Your dog is very small. The answer is cane è molto piccolo. 3, 2, 1. Il tuo cane è molto piccolo. We need the article here because cane is not a family member. For many people is, but in grammar it's not a family member. Number 3. Our American friends live in New York. Amici americani vivono a New York. 3, 2, 1. I nostri amici americani vivono a New York. We need the article because amici is plural. Number 4. His sisters are twins. Sorelle sono gemelle. 3, 2, 1. Le sue sorelle sono gemelle. We need the article because sorelle is a plural family member. And last one, number 5. This pen is not mine. Is it yours? Questa penna non è è 3, 2, 1. Questa penna non è mia. È la tua? We use la tua as a pronoun to replace the feminine noun penna. Great job! That concludes our lesson on Italian possessive adjectives and pronoun. See you in the next one. Ciao!